Um, First, how are you? This is my first interview in, I don't know, I think almost 3 years. How do we do this?
Huh.
I don't remember.
What you been doing for 3 years? Where you been?
I've talked about it. Everybody's talked. You haven't talked about it. What happened to me?
Well, you know what's interesting? I really mean this, and that is that what I try to do, I shouldn't say what you, but what I try to do, is try to remember that what happens in the tabloid press, because everybody has their reversals and everybody slips on the ice, so to speak, whether it's your fault or not, you know. And the way that it's treated in many, what is a growing section of the media, that's not who you are. It's really important to try to remember that. Like, I'm going to do this Comedy Central roast, and if I believed that I really was half of what they're going to spend the whole evening telling the world I am, I wouldn't get out of bed. You have to believe that everybody has their reversals and what have you, but that's who you are on your worst day. And they're certainly not going to come in here and tell the world all the things I've done that I'm proud of. I just think it's onward and upward. You know what I mean? You got a whole life ahead of you of work to do. You're good at what you do. And if we say that we are that guy that has, that goes down some slippery slope, and in your case, you were pulled down the slippery slope by somebody, it's onward and upward, don't you think?
Absolutely. I mean, Tony Robbins looked at me in the eye and he said, one moment in front of 9,000 people doesn't define your life.
Right.
And but we live in a culture where people would like that to be the case and to keep bringing it back. We live now in cancel culture. What's your relationship with social media? You're on, then you quit, then you go back in, then you, I mean, do you hate
I learned
it?
a profound
Does
lesson.
it do more good or is it more harmful in the aggregate, in the end? You know what I mean? Like, yes, it can connect people. Like,
I'm
oh,
really,
what a wonderful...
my impersonation of you is coming to me now in a flood.
Do it. Let's go.
In the aggregate, in the end, you're the very kind of a.
It's a little reach.
Ba-ba-boom, ba-ba-boom. You're like Cagney.
So in the end, when you get the two things that
Does it come together in the aggregate, in the end? Bang! I'm
God.
Billy Bush, bang!
Boom. It's boom.
Boom, boom. My relationship with social media, in the beginning, I'll never forget Roger Ebert wrote on social media, like, Alec Baldwin doesn't get it. Because I was talking to people on social media, and I thought of social media like Twitter as a wonderful opportunity for me to talk directly to my fans in the
That's
in the
how
public.
it began, with that beautiful, innocent sort of.
I would talk to my fans, and Roger
idealistic idea.
Ebert said to me, he wrote about me on Twitter. He was like, "This is like clogging up my feed. All your kind of tedious. Hey, I was like a teenager. What are you doing? Really? No, whatever the banter was." So I abandoned that. Then I would spar with people who would say ugly things that I thought, I would like to give it to you, Twitter style.
Yeah.
And then
Shade.
I tried to communicate in my opinions and so forth. And now I don't go on social media. I do a lot of retweeting of people. It's like a news aggregator for me. If there's a wonderful article in the Atlantic, if there's a wonderful article here or the New Yorker, what have you.
You'll send it out.
Anything. I'll retweet that.
You and I have daughters in their 20s. You've commented on some of hers, which I love. It's so entertaining. Publicly, like, what? No.
Yeah, no. Please, no.
But you do that for fun.
Well, my daughter, Ireland, who I had dinner with the other night out here, I don't get to come out here as much as I used to, but we're out here to do the roast, and we're in LA, and I had dinner with my daughter the other night, and she's really very funny.
Yeah.
And I think she's very funny. She's very clever. She's very smart and quick and funny. And I've always thought, that I grew up, my dad was a teacher and had no money and had a lot of kids. And so opportunity to monetize whatever abilities you have was something you just lunged at. You didn't even really think about it. I'm somebody who wanted to do something with my life. And I went into this business, and the more successful I got, and the more money you made, quite frankly, and the more it improved my lifestyle and the lifestyle of a lot of people that were depending on me in my life, I thought to myself, well, I can't turn back now, even though there was something else I wanted to do with my life.
Yeah, no, you got to go in.
And with my daughter Ireland, what I think I'm learning about her that I'm very proud of with her is she doesn't automatically believe that if she's funny and charismatic and so forth, she needs to be on TV.
Right.
And turning it into a career that way. She's perfectly happy to live a private life. I mean, she's on social media, but that doesn't compare to her becoming, a talk show host or an actress on a ensemble comedy. She's not eager to get into the business, and I'm kind of happy about that.
How are you a different parent right now? Speaking of, you got a 23-year-old. Now you got all these little ones, but you were one of many little ones. So are you just kind of repeating what your dad did? I mean, that's kind of how I roll.
Well, I think that, and you can appreciate this, and yourself and your career and the infinite number of people you've interviewed, and that is, the first round when I was married to Kim and we had Ireland, we both were very much working all the time. We were lighting one off the other. And my daughter would typically go with her mother. We tried to work in town here in LA, and all I wanted to do was make movies and kind of get that going and have a film career where you're reaching for the brass ring and you want to have movies that make money or do well. And then I met my wife, Ilaria. I'm remarried and have kids, and I'm older. And the benefit of that is that of being older is work is important to me. When I work, I love it. I don't dislike the work, but I do a lot less of it. And I've made peace with doing jobs which are jobs I might not have done. I would never have done 20 years ago. In the 90s, if you said to me you're going to host a game show, I would have gone, wait a minute. You know what I mean?
I'm a star.
But I'm somebody who's on a different path. Now, I mean, within reason, I don't care what I do anymore. I really don't, as long as I stay home and I'm with my kids. So everything with me now with my kids is, my wife and I are home a lot. We spend a lot of time with our kids.
You love Ilaria. It's
She's very special. I'm very lucky. It's a lot of luck.
What drew you to her? Wasn't the Instagram?
Well, she's very, she really lives the things she says. Now I know that a lot of people, they live it to a degree. There's a kind of an emotional and spiritual health that we all want to gain as we get older and make our lives more, worthwhile and peaceful and enjoyable, and take the unnecessary stress out of your life. There's always going to be some stress in your life, especially with the work we do, because it's so unpredictable. But there's people who live it kind of, and my wife really lives it. I mean, she really is this very evolved, smart, wise. There's just stuff that I
admire.
Look at. Yeah, the stuff I look at and think, I couldn't put up with this or that, or I get pissed off about this or that. And she does not stress about anything that doesn't matter. She's very good at segregating what matters from what doesn't matter. That's a huge plus.
Does she give you, the older guy, like timeout room where you can go and just, because it's hard to chase around four kids.
She has her.
Didn't you tell me you ride in a different car sometimes out to the weekends? Is that okay?
No, we have a car that's our car, and we put everybody in the car, and we take two cars because we have a lot of stuff. So sometimes I would ride in the other car. I'd ride in the luggage car because my wife would say, "Then you can talk on the phone." I go, "I don't have to listen to you talk."
Right.
I'd be on the phone.
Handle the business while we're moving.
But I protested. I want to get back in the car with the rest of my family. I don't want to be exiled to the luggage
car. What about a motorhome? How about a nice little?
We're going to buy a new car. I can't name the brand of car, but apparently there's a new car that's come out that's like the real.
Family truckster,
yeah, it's like the army transport vehicle that we put the whole family in. But my wife has a whole glossary of terms and things she says to me to put me in my place.
Like what?
Well, if I whine and complain, I'll sit there and go, my God, I told them I needed that thing. I wanted to read it for the weekend, and I didn't get that file from them. I needed to read that script, and my wife would look at me and go, "No one feels sorry for you, Alec Baldwin." That's her phrase. No one feels sorry for you, Alec Baldwin.
She's right.
In fact, she got my kids on that. I wrote this on Instagram.
Are your kids saying it too?
Well, no, I turned to my kids one day. I go, "What's mommy's name?" And my son goes, "Mommy." And I go, "What's daddy's name?" And he goes, "Alec Baldwin."
Hello, Alec Baldwin. Can Alec Baldwin read your story tonight?
I get treated, yeah. As read by Alec Baldwin. I get treated very differently in my house.
We have a great voice.
It hurts. It hurts sometimes. Parental advice.
Parental advice.
You raised 3 girls. What would you say to people who are having kids and raising kids?
Get to know them. I used to say
That's a great line.
Understand them.
Get to know them.
Understand.
I like that.
Don't just.
I want to have a picture of you on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And then it says,
know
kids. Your kids. Get to know them. I love that.
Isn't that
It's
nice?
so basic.
It's so basic.
It's so, get to know
Don't
them.
try and just tell them the same thing that don't do this, don't do that. Understand why they're doing things. Just pay a little more attention and get to know them. Because sometimes we're just, I found myself just doing everything my dad did, I would say, to them.
Well, my wife is from Spain. She grew up in Spain. And our kids go to a full Spanish immersion school, the two older ones. And Carmen speaks fluent Spanish. And people say, how's your Spanish? I say, I know the necessary words. I know the necessary words to be a good parent. Down, stop, slow down, careful. I'm like, con cuidado. Lento.
What is lento?
Slow.
Slow.
Suave means soft if you're touching the dog. Abajo means down. Arriba means up. I have all the things. It's like I'm
You keep going, you could be the guy on Saturday Night Univision, Sabido Gigante, you know that guy?
I don't know.
Don
but that's
Francisco.
it now. That's it
Don
now.
Francisco.
I am now Sabido Gigante.
Sabi, the giant Saturday.
I am Sábado. It's Sábado.
Sábado Gigante.
Sábado Gigante. I know enough Spanish to save lives.
Well, you said ¿Quién es más macho?
Yeah.
AB or BB? I am BB, you are AB. Who is the more macho?
I think you are.
I think so too.
I think I'm becoming softer and more tender.
You are.
And you're relentlessly virile. There's a virility to you that's just like you're like Kirk Douglas to me. You're the Kirk Douglas of entertainment journalism.
103 years old.
Billy Bush here live from Hollywood. You're like just so
potent. I have a favor to ask you. Now, you don't have to do it. Of course, you'll do what you want to do. But the Tony Bennett, the Tony Bennett impersonation, which you dropped into without even me asking.
Yeah.
You once left on my phone a voice recording, so when people called me, it was Alec Baldwin. Is there any chance you could leave the greeting when they call as Tony Bennett?
Do you have your phone?
I do. Of course, I'm ready.
Get your phone ready.
It's ready. It's actually at the ready.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Bennett here to say that Billy Bush is back. He's back. He's out of TV jail. And he's back on the air. And leave him a message here. Maybe he'll book you on his show. Billy Bush, everybody. He's the tops.
Oh, it's gold.
He's out of TV jail.
Oh, it's TV jail, baby. Oh, it's such gold.
There you go.
I love you. Thank you. Thank you for watching. If you want more extra, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll never miss a video.